What's up guys, and welcome back to the Road to Nebula challenge on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. For today's weapon we are going to be getting the PU-21 Mystic Gold so we can make progress towards the Nebula camo. If you'd like to see more videos like this where I do other weapons by getting Mystic Gold and show my journey through Opal, Afterlife and things like that, please hit that subscribe button as I'm aiming for 7,000 subscribers before we get to the Nebula camo. It's our 20th weapon today, so we've made a lot of progress since the beginning. So we've gone from all the way from the XM4 and to the 20th weapon, which is the PU-21. This is a big milestone. I can't wait to show you this video, so let's get this on the road. So how do I feel about the PU-21? Is it a good gun? Is it a bad gun? Well, to be quite honest with you, it's a pretty good weapon as a whole, but the disadvantage, which I'm going to straight up say, is the reload speed. Now, it does speed up with speed cola, obviously, because that's what speed cola does, but it is a very slow reload, so you've got to reload it when you're in a safe space. If you're in a situation where you're surrounded by zombies, it can be incredibly difficult to get out of a tricky situation because of the reload speed, especially when you need to reload and you can't fire your weapon at the zombie. So you've got to be careful in that aspect. But in terms of getting headshots, it's not too bad. I like to personally take care of my firing with LMGs though, as when you're firing an LMG, you can often miss headshots when you're spraying and praying like a lot of people often do. It's best just to line your sights up and just sort of burst fire the weapon a little bit, just so you can get those critical kills as quickly as possible, because at the end of the day you have to get 2,000 critical kills, and it'll be much slower if you spray and pray, as you'll end up getting a lot less critical kills than you think you will, and you'll end up spending way more time using the weapon than you need to, and that's not what we want. However, because I was being too careful and not paying attention to my surroundings, this game does come to quite an abrupt end on round 11, and yeah, things just weren't going my way whatsoever. I didn't have any attachments at all, reload was really slow, and I was just not focusing, to be completely honest with you. So in the first game, didn't get very many critical kills, but you know what, it's a learning curve. With this weapon, you've just got to be aware of your surroundings and make sure you don't do what I did, and you'll be absolutely fine. In the second game, I had a much better attempt. I actually got to round 37, but unfortunately, I couldn't really go any higher than that because things were getting very overwhelming very quickly. The other issue with this weapon that I do find is movement speed. Now, because it's an LMG, the gun is super heavy, so this is probably going to be the same for every LMG that I do in this game, but movement is very tricky. So it is more of a camping based weapon, but the problem with camping is you have got to be more aware of your surroundings, and you've got to be careful where you camp as well. And obviously if you reload and you're reloading really slowly, it can become a bit of an issue. And yes, once again, speed cola does fix that, but you know, it's just not the easiest thing to use in the world. So with LMGs in this game, I actually genuinely think it's one of the worst weapon choices. Sounds controversial, but in terms of reload speed and everything else and getting to high rounds, it's just not it unless you've got a very good camping strategy and you run the right attachments. But I just genuinely think as all the PU-21 isn't that powerful overall. It's a good gun, but it's not powerful enough to get to like past the round 30s, or if you probably could do it, but it'd be very challenging beyond that. I wouldn't recommend using this to get to, let's say, round 100, because it'd be absolutely insane. When I was recording the gameplay for the PU-21, I was kind of like shocked of how long this weapon was actually taking me. It took me a grand total of 2 hours, 38 minutes and 20 seconds, and I know I've said in the past it takes between 2 to 3 hours per weapon, but I wasn't expecting an LMG to be one of the longest ones. I mean, granted, I did have a really bad first game, to be fair, but even when I got to round 37, I still wasn't at the Mystic Gold camo, and I still had to do the other challenges as well. So for me, this weapon was really time consuming, so my experience with it was a little bit tedious, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not as bad as some of the weapons I've done in the past, such as like the 9mm pistol, for example, because that was by far the worst one. But you know what, it's not a boring weapon to use as such. It does definitely keeps you on your toes 100% of the time, and when you combine this with Frenzy Guard, it can be an absolute beast for mowing down zombies relatively quickly. But I'm just still disappointed at the fact that it took me this long to do. But I think it's a combination of the reload speed, that obviously running with it's very slow, and you've obviously got to take your time as a result of that. Anyway, after a long and tedious third match of getting to round 29, so still quite high up, I get the Mystic Gold camo. So it actually took me one terminus game, which is a disaster, a very long round 37 and Liberty Falls, and round 29 Liberty Falls once again. So overall, this weapon took me a very long time to get to the gold camo. I probably should, in the future, I'm probably going to learn from this and try and find ways to reduce the time on some of these weapons, because that was far too long in my opinion. It could have been down to bad attachments or me just playing poorly. Let me know what you guys think of this weapon in the comments below. It'd be greatly appreciated if you experience. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out.